So I'm working on a production of Little Shop of Horrors. I started building the puppets a couple weeks ago. I started building the smallest one. It's not done yet, but I brought it to the director to show the progress, okay? And here's how far it is so far. The head is mostly done. I wanted to do more details inside the mouth and of course cover the stem. But he saw it and he said it's too big for the smallest plant. This is typically the size that it is for most productions. It's typically a hand puppet, and what it needs to be able to do is to grow, turn its head, and open its mouth. So the way this one works, as a hand puppet, it grows just by the performer lifting their arm up, allows the neck to grow. You turn your wrist, and then you're able to move the mouth. Okay. But the director wants the puppet to be a lot smaller. In order to do that, though, it cannot be a hand puppet. It has to be mechanical. Okay. So I started putting this together. This is my prototype. And this little guy is able to turn his head back and forth and open his mouth just like it needs to. And to grow, what it would do is in the pot, the puppeteer that's under the counter of the shop would have his hand inside holding it and just simply lift it up and then be able to manipulate it. Okay. Now, right now the problem with this is that there's a lot of thickness here with the hand being exposed. You know, a simple solution would be to just make the stem longer. However, it can't be longer because it does have to be carried by Seymour earlier in the show within the same scene, so it can't be switched, and it can't be sticking out at the bottom. So this is really as long as it can be without having anything sticking out. So what I was just going to do is cover this with fabric, but then I was over at my buddy's shop, Chaz Vance, over at Technically Magic. You should check out his shop, or his website. And we were coming up with some ideas, and this was one of the ideas we talked about, is making a scissor extension. I'm really proud of this thing. It's so cool. So it's just made out of pieces of aluminum rod, and it's just hardware from Lowe's. And the handles here, I cut them out of Delrin and just sanded them up and was able to screw them in. And what it is just by simply squeezing this, you get this entire extension, which would be a nice long stem for the plant. And I mean, it's just so much cleaner. It's so much cooler. It's so fun to use too. But what's nice about this, you notice this rod here is much longer, and that's what keeps it centered inside of the pot here. You can see I drilled those little holes. So just by squeezing the PVC, I'm able to set this in, and just like that. So it's flush on the bottom, able to be held by Seymour, and simply by the puppeteer putting their hand inside and squeezing it, it gets that entire extension. And also, you might notice that it also naturally turns the head from an upward orientation, which is how it needs to start, right here at the bottom, to once it's fully extended, being already turned and ready to talk. So I still have to create a new head for this one and have a tube going down to control its mouth. But it's coming out pretty cool. I'm really excited about it, and I'll make sure I keep you guys updated with the progress. So stay tuned.